Hey, Shalom Yahaba Shem Yahushai Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Alataba Shem Yahushai to all the sisters. This is the ISUPK, side of the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yana. You understand? And today is the Tuesday Brotherhood class out here in Las Vegas. You understand? I am Priest and Officer 500 Iraq. All right. And today's class, today's subject, as the title says, is we're going to be going over heaven and hell according to the Bible. You understand? We've been, we kind of been talking about it here and there in the last couple of classes that I've taught. That said, I also said that I was going to teach this subject, and so that day has arrived for those of y'all that actually did want to get that breakdown on heaven, what heaven and hell actually is according to the Bible. You understand? Like it says Facebook user, so I'm not, a Most High in Christ, the water. Appreciate the support. Make sure that you like and share the class. With that being said, before we get into the topic, right, I'm just going to ask that y'all do your part to make sure that you like and share the class. ISUPK Nevada on YouTube, ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe to the YouTube page. Hit the little bell button so that you get all the notifications to all of our upcoming videos. You understand? We've got interviews coming up. You understand? We got promotions coming up. You understand? We got all sorts of events coming up, like, promoting the Passover. You understand? Feast of Purim, stuff like that. You want more information on those things. One way to get those information outside of our classes is to make sure that you stay subscribed to our video, our channels. You understand? And of course, the same thing with the ISUPK Las Vegas Facebook page. You understand? Make sure you like that page, so then that way you can, stay up to date with all of our information that we're pushing out here in Las Vegas. You understand? We're out here growing, and we got to keep on pushing that growth. And one way that we do that by liking and sharing these classes. You understand? And that said as well, you just never know that there may be a brother or sister that's on your timeline that, is looking to change their life around for the better. And quite frankly, for a so-called Black, Hispanic, or First Nation man and woman, the only way that they can actually do so is if they come into the ISUPK. They get themselves right by the Lord. And quite frankly, you can only do that in the ISUPK. You understand? Where we teach you how to serve the Most High God according to His word. You understand? Not according to, how you may feel or some stupid color that you want to wear, such as purple, right? Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Barakatah. It's good to see you in the class. It doesn't say your name, so just make sure that you post your name as well when you sign in, Baba Kashai. Hey, Shalom, Lord of Christ, sir. It's good to see you in the class. That's big. Officer 5000 Shabal. With that being said as well, while I'm liking and sharing the class myself, doing my part to push out this word to the four corners of the earth online, if there's anyone that has any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. If there is a question that I am unable to answer myself scripturally, then I will take it to a mightier man than myself, such as Officer 5000 Shabal, whom of which will be teaching the Thursday scripture breakdown class out here. You understand? And so we'll go over your question that Thursday and or the following the following Brotherhood class, of which I teach myself. You understand? Now just give me a moment to finish liking and sharing for myself, and then we'll get into this topic. All right. All right, give me 1 second. To my last little one on Facebook. It's like y'all. I got a bunch of groups that I share to on Facebook. A bit of little scrolling and whatnot I gotta do while I hit the share button. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, if y'all is serious about this truth, like we are in the ISUPK, you know, that's you want to be just sharing to, you know, onto your wall, right? You want to be sharing to all your groups, all those group pages that you're able to share to. You understand? Because when you really about spreading this truth, you really about, you know, obeying the Lord's commandments, right? And you're gonna do it in every way possible. Damn, that's crazy. I just got banned. Like literally just got freaking banned for 1 hour on Facebook because I was liking and sharing. Ain't that? See, man, I swear, Satan all over the place, man. He trying to keep you from doing your job. You understand? Hey, shalom, little Christ, sir. You know, Officer Kazawan, man. I'm doing Tawab. I'm good. It's good to see you in the class, sir. Everything Tawab on your end. Oh, Lord, allow. So now that I got my part done, right? Liking and sharing. It's like I almost put my nose down. So what we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to get into the topic, like I said, right? But we're going to start with, I think we should start with heaven. Nah, it's like it. We'll start with hell. Because, you know, our people need to wake up from the hell that we are in. And the only way that we can wake up from the hell that we are in is by us even understanding that we are in hell. All right. You're not going to die and then possibly go to hell. You understand? Especially, and this is the thing about heaven and hell, right? And I know I've said this numerous times, you know, in my previous classes when I was going over the topic of immaculate conception and regeneration according to the Bible, right? So now, obviously, we have an understanding that when you die, you don't go to some other place. You get recycled, regenerated, reincarnated, you understand, back onto the face of the earth, right? We went over that. But in the Christian churches, they sit here and tell, you know, they basically make everybody believe that when somebody that just because you felt a certain type of way for them, you loved them because it was your dad, you loved them because it was your grandmammy, you know, it was your brother, your sister, your cousin, nephew, etc. You know, what, your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, what have you, right? Why is it that everybody in the Christian church goes to heaven unless you're Adolf Hitler? Why is it that, you know, people don't sit there and talk about how, you know, everybody throughout the last 500 years, which is, you know, pretty much the entire history, the entire so-called white man's history here on this landmass in North America, so-called North America. Why isn't that, you know, why don't we say that all of them are going to hell as soon as they die? Why isn't that something that is discussed? As if, you know, because if you think about it, they committed worse, in my opinion, worser crimes than goddamn Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler had a reign of 12 years where, you know, he was murdering and slaughtering people. Not to excuse what he did, but, you know, that was a reign of 12 years where, you know, he murdered those fake Jews. Good riddance, Salakia, right? But, you know, of course, the real Jews were also a part of that mix, where he was murdering our people as well, gassing our people as well, burning our people as well. Our people were part of that Holocaust. You understand? That Holocaust was really a Holocaust because of what he was doing to us, that included with us, right? But the real Holocaust is what really happened during the Atlantic slave trade. You understand? With the Europeans coming over to North America. Okay, so why is it that nobody talks about how all of them slave traders, all of those people during that time, you know, the so-called white man's forefathers, they're all going to hell? I mean, you know what they'll argue, though? They were good Christians. And you know what? I'll agree. They were good Christians. You understand? They were doing the great old good Christian custom of hating on God's chosen people and disobeying, not even disobeying, because you have to be ordered to follow the law. You have to be ordered to follow the Most High God. But coming against the Most High God's words, coming against, you understand, the Most High God's people. You understand? Showing how much he hates the Most High God and his people and this Bible. You understand? That's what they did. Right? So now you might ask, okay, so where are those people now, right? Those people during that time of the Atlantic slave trade who were putting us in chains. Well, you know what? Over time, especially if you watch the last two classes that I had taught, you know, we talked about regeneration. So that should already let you know now. Okay. But then now we're gonna kind of touch on it a little bit today as well, where they're at today, where the forefathers of the so-called white man is today, and quite frankly, where our forefathers are, you know, that had already died 500 years ago, where they are today. You understand? Just to kind of shortcut into, you know, what we are actually going to talk about on the subject. Hell is a place in a condition. All right, let me say that one more time. Hell is a place and it's a condition. You understand? That condition, I mean, that's why we all talk about, you know, this is living hell. You goddamn right. As a so-called Black, Hispanic, First Nation man and woman here in America, man, you are living in hell. This place is a living hell for you. That's exactly right. Now, in the midst of me explaining Salakia, me saying that in itself lets you know both the place and the condition. You understand? It lets you know both the place and the condition. How? Well, look at where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are. Right? Actually, we're spread out to the four corners of the earth. And look at just how bad living is, no matter where we are. You understand? Throughout the four corners of the earth. We might be in Mexico. Our Israelite brothers and sisters in Mexico, right? Can't even enjoy their own piece of land. How do you know they can't, enjoy their own piece of land? Like I said, this is the Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. Do you know what Las Vegas originally was a part of? This is Mexico. Taken away. They can't even have their own land. It's taken away from them. You understand? Let's also not forget about the Mexico that still remains, that we identify as the borders of Mexico today on the map, right? In 2023. Y'all do realize that a lot of Mexico is corrupt, and I don't even blame our own brothers and sisters for being corrupt like that. I blame the goddamn Spaniards that invaded into South America. And that's why our brothers and sisters are acting in that such way. You know why? Because Catholicism was pushed throughout South America, and Catholicism pushes this doctrine that you can basically act a fool and all will be forgiven. Prime example, and I know you guys have seen it in the, like in the movies with the mobster movies. You understand? Hell, it's in that one show, Breaking Bad, right? These gangsters, these Catholic gangsters, what do? Before they go get a lick, before they go split somebody's head wide the hell open, blow their head back, what do? They go and pray to the Virgin Mary. They go and confess their sins to, the Father. For us, what do they say? Something, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, whatever, to a man that, he's never touched a woman. He touches little boys all the time, but he's never touched a woman. But you got to call him Father. It's a Salaki. That's wild to me. It's a Salaki. Right? They go do all these things, and then they go rob a store. They go rape women. They go and be a homosexual. They go and murder. You understand? Let alone their own people. You understand? Go sell these drugs. You understand? Now, to live in a state of confusion like that is hell. That is hell. Because you know what? What happens to that man that sit there and believes that God is going to have his back because he showed up at Sunday Mass, he confessed to that pedophile, child molesting, goddamn, Catholic, what are they called? Priests, pastors, for the Catholics, they're fake father people, whatever the hell, right? Salaki, I'm not hip to Catholicism too much, right? And I'm not saying Salaki for getting the name wrong. I'm to offend Catholics, I should say. I'm saying, Salakia for my lack of knowledge. That's what I'm saying Salakia for, right? But, they actually believe that the Lord is going to have their back. But in reality, what's going to end up happening? Most High God is going to send curses and death and destruction on that man, on that woman that's about to go and commit these atrocities. You understand? That's why we think that we can get rich poisoning our own people. We can get rich real fast. Yeah, let me go sell this pack, right? Get rich real fast. But yet, what ends up happening to them? You get killed. You end up with some sort of disease. You end up getting that money, holding it for 20 minutes, and then you got the big, great red, white, and blue lights behind your car. And now that's your third strike, and you're serving life. You understand what I'm saying? You touch that money for 20 minutes just for someone else to come and take it from you. You understand? That way of thinking, that's you being in hell. You understand? This world that we live in, world being a synonymous with the word society that we live in, you understand? We believe that we can do these things and it all will be well. You understand? Because I put together this great plan that's just foolproof. You understand? And you know what? It probably was foolproof. It probably was a great plan. You understand? It was probably a plan as grand as, the plan that the CIA is conducting to keep drugs in our neighborhood. You understand? Keep that in mind too. Planted that seed for a reason, which we are going to revisit, right? A plan that is grand is the CIA keeping the drugs, putting drugs in our neighborhoods, right? And obviously the CIA is still doing it. They're still doing it with everyone having the knowledge that they're doing it. Making money off of it. You understand? You know what the difference is? Is the conditions of the two people that are doing it. You understand? The people who run the CIA, this is the so-called white man. This is his organization. You understand? Right now, this is his heaven. He's not supposed to be in hell. He's not supposed to. His heaven is being able to conduct any manner of wickedness that his heart so desires, turn on the TV. Don't turn it on too long, because if you like me, and you're going to be disgusted with the things that they put on advertisement and in these goddamn TV shows with all this sex appeal and goddamn homosexuality, especially when they put the 2 in 1, right? This is their world. This is what they want. This is what keeps them in that great happiness, we'll say. They are greatly happy. Keeps them on their throne. You understand? That's why they're able to keep on putting drugs in our goddamn neighborhoods and don't have to pay no repercussions for it yet. You understand? Then on the flip side, where you got blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women, mind you, we're not supposed to be doing these things. Why? Because we are being dealt with the Most High God. We so-called Negroes, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. You understand? The people, the people who fall under the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? The real Israelites. You understand? The real Jews that the Bible speaks of. You understand? We are not to do these things. And so because we're not supposed to do these things, the Most High God punishes you, sends death and destruction your way. because he wants you to learn. You are here to be an example and rule over this world as an example. You understand? Not to follow suit what everybody else is doing. What kind of a person? Listen, put it like this, right? And then we'll get into the topic. Salaki, I know I kind of did a whole little monologue, didn't even pull my scripture yet. Salaki, just so y'all are tracking, we're going to start off at the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 28. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. All right. So put it like this, right? As a parent, for those of y'all that are parents, you really, you understand what I'm about to lay out, especially if, and you don't even have to be a parent for this, but this will hit a little bit closer to home if you're someone like me, where you're the eldest of your siblings, but also a parent. You understand? Of multiple children. All right. Think about this. For those of y'all that are the eldest sibling, when you were growing up, how you would get in trouble when you had nothing to do what happened to, little brother, little sister, but you got in trouble for what they did, right? But yet you didn't get in trouble for, what them motherfuckers did up and down the street or at school, as long as you wasn't involved in it. You understand? Your parents dealt with you and their children, your siblings, collectively as a nation. Let me say that one more time so that y'all understand this. Your parents dealt with you and your siblings all together as a nation. You understand? And the reason why I said that they dealt with you and your siblings as a nation is because it's a direct correlation to the way that the Most High God is dealing with us. Where if one of you guys mess up, you're all getting dealt with. And as being the eldest, as being the one who is not messing up, it's frustrating. You understand? When you look at your brother and sister, it's frustrating. Man, can't you just get yourself together? Like, stop. Ask me. So then that way, we won't get in trouble. I'm tired of getting my ass whooped because of you. You understand? Hey, Most High in Christ, sir. So like, it's telling me on my feed that you just a Facebook user. I'm not sure who I'm speaking to, but Most High in Christ, sir, the water. I do want to find out who that is, though. So lucky. Let me see if I can just pull up Facebook. He's watching from somewhere else. No, Most High in Christ, though. But you understand what I'm saying? That older sibling. Oh, hey, Salaki, sir. It's good to see you, though. Glad that you was able to tune in, sir. That older sibling is you, right? That is Israel. The parents is that parent, your parents is the Most High God in this situation. And the crazy thing is we carry that custom over each and every single generation. And you know why at the end of the day that we deal with our children, even though we hated going through it when we were going through it, is because when we got older, we understood why our parents did that. We protect all of them, all of our children collectively together. If if one of them messes up, you deal with all of them. You also teach them all to check one another. You understand? So I don't have to check them no more. You understand? It's all done at the lowest level. In other words, in order and in decency. You understand? Most High God did that because Most High God don't want to be over here, overshot, what's the word? Looking over our shoulders the whole time. You understand, babysitting us. He put us here to rule ourselves. You understand? Where he didn't have to worry about, the only thing he had to worry about is getting the report for what is happening. You understand what I'm saying? Being that older child as well, if I may, because I did want to make this point as well. That eldest child out of all them siblings is the ISUPK. And I pray that y'all understand that. because we are the ones to tell y'all, hey, y'all need to come back home. Y'all need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And we're not just talking to the people that we're trying to heal on the streets, right? And we also telling these fake Israelite camps, stop being fake. Come get real. Come be a real one. We telling y'all and showing y'all that y'all being fake. And in fact, you're part of the reason why we are in this condition that we are in. You understand? You're part of the reason why we keep on. The Most High God is going to keep whooping our ass because you continue to go against him, mind you. And while you're going against the Most High God at the same time saying, "I know God." Worse than the Christians, mind you, because you at least know your identity to some extent. You understand? You know who you are scripturally. Y'all claim to actually, study the scriptures. You understand? But yet y'all come against the school of which y'all came from in the first place, but the only school that is ordained by the Most High God. So, of course, we're all going to keep getting that ass whooping collectively. Y'all understand? And that's because we still in that state of hell. All right. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start now. Finally, 26 minutes later. So, like it, y'all. I know I was on a bit of a little monologue, right? But this is slick, a heavy topic. All right. This may take 2 classes. Lord allowed it won't, but this may take 2 classes itself, right? So the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28, which is written in red, which tells you that our King Yahushua Mashiach in the Hebrew, or as the world ignorantly knows him as, is Jesus Christ. He is speaking, okay? The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So this is, all right. So we'll break this down from the top and we'll baby step this and explain this, all right? So it says, and fear not them which kill the body. So don't fear those people. Don't fear anything on this physical plane, basically. You understand? Don't fear these men who the worst that they can do to you is kill you. Okay? The worst they can do to you is kill you, but are not able to kill the soul. You understand? They can kill your physical body, but not your soul, not your spirit. You understand? Which that in itself lets you know is this. Us being in the condition that we are in, us going through this hell that we are going through is not because the white man, the so-called white man, is making us. No. That's not how it works. And we'll see you'll see more as you'll understand why and how as we read a little bit more, right? But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. You understand? To fear him. Who is that him, man? That's the Most High God. You understand? Fear him. Fear the Most High God, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. You understand? So not only can he'll destroy your fleshly body, but man, he'll put your soul through your spirit through goddamn hell. He'll destroy your spirit. You understand? And how is that? Putting us through a captivity that we are in now, putting us through the oppression that we are still seeing today, even after the Emancipation Proclamation, after goddamn Abraham Lincoln, released us from slavery. We are still being oppressed. We are still in captivity. Even after goddamn Martin Luther King, since we just celebrated his day and his birthday and this, that, and the other, right? Even after all the great, wonderful things that Martin Luther King did for us so that we can actually, go out on dates with these goddamn white devils, so that we can go and eat with these goddamn white devils. We can watch movies where these white devils watch movies. You understand? We can do integration. You understand? Even in the midst of all of that, we're still in the same condition. We are still being oppressed. You understand? We are still in captivity. We are still being destroyed. We are still being hunted down in the streets. We are still poisoning our own people with these goddamn drugs and also these false doctrines. You understand? It's not even just the things that you ingest orally. It's the things that you are ingesting, through audio. You understand? And I'm not trying to get on this whole blackety black rhetoric of, you understand, breaking down, what, the whole digestive system through your mouth, and there's also one through your ears, and this, that, and the other. Although there is truth to it. You understand? But the things that we teach each other, like how so-called blacks like to teach the whole we were African. That poison, man, that's poison in your ears. You understand? And mind you as well, that ends up getting you destroyed both body and soul. You understand? By listening and following into that. Which is my point as to why we are in hell, because our own people are pushing our own into a position to be destroyed, to get dealt with by the Most High God, for their mind, for their body and their soul to be destroyed. I pray y'all understand what I'm saying right now. I pray that y'all understand what I'm laying out for you right now. Right? But this one verse lets you know, man, this isn't, although it may be the will of the so-called white man, but it's not, he hadn't done it though. He isn't the one that made these things this way. The Most High God did. That's why you shouldn't be afraid of them. You understand? Because in time, and of course, the more that you stay in these classes, and of course, I'll teach it my doggone self. If all y'all got to do is, just say something in chat for like the subjects that y'all want to be taught in the future, and it can be done at any given time. You understand? I teach on that subject. Y'all just got to speak up, or else I'm just gonna, keep on doing my little random, I'll randomly just select a topic, right? But the Most High God, this is his will, and he's just utilizing the so-called white man to carry out his will with our punishment. You understand? For the moment, that's just his, the so-called white man is, one way to put it is, the so-called white man is the Most High God's belt right now to whoop our ass. And best believe, he is getting our ass whooped. You understand? The way that we're being killed in the streets, poisoning our own with drugs and just lies, we'll say. Drugs and lies. You understand? The hatred that we have, developed for our own, and that comes from that belt that the Most High God put down on us. That belt did its work. It goddamn has us thinking and acting a certain way. I pray that y'all understand. Those of y'all that got your ass whooped growing up, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How a belt gets you acting and thinking a certain type of way. I know it did with me, Salakia. That was just, I'm one of them people, man. I only got to get slapped once. My dad wasn't a slapper. My dad whoop your ass. You understand? There was no breaks. It was just full pedal to the metal. I'm about to F you up. You understand? So I only need to get slapped one time. It's a lot. But there's some people, man, we are stiff-necked people though at the same time. Like, just because I only needed to get slapped one time, that just means I won't get in trouble for that same thing again. Right? We're gonna drop that though. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. Now we're gonna go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. But you understand, I got in trouble. I was I was sure as hell living my life as a kid. I'll say that much. But I just wasn't gonna get in trouble for the same thing twice. You got me twisted. So lucky. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that inequity was there. Hold on now. I think I might have just read that a little bit too fast, right? Let me slow that down and break that down for y'all, right? And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. So what's under the sun? Who could tell me what's under the sun? I see some, we got some people online, man. Who could tell me what's under the sun? Give y'all a few seconds, a few more moments. I attend to something really right quick anyways. Who could tell me what that is under the sun? Like some of y'all too afraid to be wrong, man. It's all right though. All right. Question was, so we're at the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and verse 16. I read, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. What the question is what is that place that is under the sun? Why does it not tell me? That's interesting. Exactly. The sister got it. It's Earth. All right. So, and I'm honored by both the sisters is honored. These are them Las Vegas sisters, man. They be honored out here. They got excellent husbands. You understand? Teaching them correctly, right? Making sure that they learning what they need to know. You understand? So that way they serve the Most High God correctly. And part of knowing that is understanding that, you know what? Your place of judgment is here on earth, right? That wickedness was there. So guess where Adolf Hitler is? Guess where the people during the Atlantic slave trade? Guess where they are after they died? Well, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness that inequity was there. Guess what? Them people that Adolf Hitler, guess where he is? And all his Nazis, after they died and lost that goddamn war, World War II, guess where they are? They're in the place of judgment right now. In fact, they in that place of judgment right now, serving out, or not serving out, but helping you serve out your judgment right now. But mind you, right now, they in heaven. Them devils are in heaven. Them white devils are in heaven right now. You understand? So, yeah, they're serving out their... Nah, you can't say they're not serving out their judgment, because, I mean, their judgment does not involve them being in a seat of power. This is just a temporary thing until you, Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man and woman, until you get yourself together. Because you know what's going to happen to them? All these other nations, you know what's going to happen to them once we get our siblings all rounded up to stop disobeying the Most High God. Guess what's going to happen? Well, now everything that was right side down will now be right side up. So, right, yeah. So everything, what was up, the seat of power, which is upside down right now, will be right side up. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say it. You understand? And guess what happens when we are in the seat of power and not right side up? Them devils that didn't pay, that have not received their judgment yet for the atrocities that have been committed to our people. And I'm talking about the so-called white man, the so-called Africans, the so-called Asians. You understand? The so-called East Indians. All of them people, the so-called Arab, all of them people that have always had a hand in our destruction and our demise, our oppression, our afflictions. Guess what's going to happen to them? Oh. Let's read that one more time, right from the top. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. They're not going to die and go to hell. And the good ones just get to go to some cloudy place with naked baby angels who were playing trumpets and French horns and harps. Nah. Guess what's going to happen? Just like how all my people collectively were being destroyed and punished, guess what? Their people, your people, those heathen people are going to have to go through. Let's just say what my forefathers went through, their children will go through 10 times. Do you understand? They will repay that manifold. You understand? How they fed my forefathers to the alligators? Man. Salakia. Because y'all understand what righteous judgment is, right? What righteous judgment, as long as we stay within the parameters of the law, you don't break the law. The way that you deal with these, listen to this Black man, listen to this Hispanic man, listen to this Native American man, because I know you don't hear this. They don't teach you this in the Christian church. But that white man that you go to work to serve every day at your slavery, every goddamn day, they got you getting up before even the ass crack of dawn. Don't even let you go home until that ass crack of dawn the next morning, just to have to do another shift, because you got to pay the bills, right? You got to keep that bread on the table, right? For you, because you got a family to provide for. He got you in slavery, right? That devil is going to be your slave. You understand? And I know I'm kind of jumping over to heaven a little bit, but hey, we might not have the time to actually get into the heaven breakdowns. We might, Lord allow. But I wanted you to at least hear it at least one time this class, what heaven is actually going to be like for you. You understand? Because you know what? If heaven involves a so-called white man being equal to me, I don't want it. And if I could, really quick, and we'll get to the next verse. I just want to tell y'all a little personal thing, right? I believe I said it in a couple of classes actually, but this thing is actually very fitting for this subject. When I was a kid, when I was a wee little lad, right? I remember there was one night, like, man, I couldn't go to sleep because my mom's side of the family, they Mormon and whatnot, and on Mondays, they had something called Family Home Evening, man. You would think it's a great thing because you guaranteed a hot meal and go talk about white Jesus and all this other shit. Man, listen, they had beef stroganoff with with bread. Wasn't even buttered bread. Wasn't even garlic bread. It was just bread and beef stroganoff. I'm like, man, as much money as y'all make, man, y'all be cooking and making dishes like y'all goddamn poor. Salakia. These goddamn, like, my mom's family, that's out of the family, man. A lot of them, her sisters, got money. Obviously I've been shunned off, so try looking my way and be like, hey, Rock, you think I can get a loan from your family, man? I've been blackballed, so that loan center is out the question, so But anyways, you had a family home evening is basically Bible study night for Mormons, right? And I went home that night. We talked about heaven. I remember I was asking, I'm like, okay, so like, what is heaven supposed to be like? They told me like there will be no death, there will be no pain. You'll always just be happy. I went home that night, man, thinking about that. I'm like, and I think I was like maybe between 8 and 10 years old, and I started crying. I had to go to bed at school the next day. Man, I couldn't go to sleep. I started crying. My dad come in my room, like, boy, why are you crying? I'm like, man, I don't want to die and go to heaven. I don't want to be happy all the time. Like, that's scary. That is terrifying. As a kid, I found that terrifying. You understand? And mind you, my dad, him coming to the knowledge of him being an Israelite didn't happen until obviously I came into the school. Not that I'm trying to put myself on any type of high horse. Point to that is that time he was, he was trying to discover, what faith suited him the best. Of course, because his wife at the time, my mother, she was Mormon. He was giving it a shot, but obviously it didn't work out. He always saw the bullet, the BS behind that religion. But you understand, ever since I was a kid, man, that white heaven sounds terrifying to me. That the only emotion is being happy. That's it. But you know what? That makes sense because they also believe that their God is only love. You understand? Like, Salaki. Man, so like with that being said, the point to me even bringing that out, man, is if heaven has the white man being equal to me and my people, I don't want it. You can keep it, Salaki. Because after everything that has been done to my people, man, how is that heaven? There are still crimes that have been unpaid. These goddamn devils got an IOU. And yes, black man, he owes you. You understand? Hispanic man, he owes you. Native American man, he owes you for the slavery that he has done to all of us, for the stealing of the land, for locking us up in cages. You understand? For the genocide, for the hatred, for the lies. Of course, he can only do all these things because the Most High God is allowing him to enjoy himself in a seat of power, to have his heaven for but a short time. Because after that time is up and our eternity begins, but mind you, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the world that followeth, and our world, our age in society, our dominion is forever. Once Yahushua returns, there will be no more of this nonsense where we're going in and out of slavery. You understand? Yahweh Shemashah, our king, is going to rule with an iron fist. You understand? He's not going to allow us to go, our nation to fall back. I pray that y'all understand. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna do that quick little sidebar, and then we'll get back on. I know notorious for doing sidebars and Salakia, y'all. Drop that. Go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 22. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 22. Deuteronomy 32. 32 and verse 22. You understand? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 22. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. You understand? So this is the Most High God talking about how his fire is his anger. All right, it's kindled in mine. Fire is kindled in his anger. So, in other words, his anger is just burning up, right? And shall burn unto the lowest hell. So, whomever is at the lowest is who's going to reap the wrath of the Most High God. And quite frankly, we're at the lowest right now. We are at the bottom, and that's why. We're going through, that's why being a Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man and woman is so difficult, because we are the ones being burned in the Most High God's wrath. And obviously this is a metaphor, because do you see me burning right now? Do you see any Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women? You look to the left, you look to the right, you look at your brother, you look at your sister, your mother, your father. You see any of them burning? But you see them being burned into destruction, though. You see them going through going through hell. All of us collectively are going through hell. We are going through that fire of hell. We're going through the Most High God's anger. You understand? And shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. You understand? That increases, all these crops. You understand? Basically the wealth of the earth. These things will be taken away, and it's talking about taken away from us. So we're not just going to go through it but we'll still have money to lean on. You understand? And mind you, the mountains as well. Generally, when you see mountains in throughout the Bible, especially when it's speaking metaphorically, it's speaking of governments. So our governments, our increase, or even because this is basically manifold, because we're not always going to be at the bottom. Our government was already taken down. Our increase obviously was already taken down. Guess who's next in line for their increase to be taken down, their mountains to be taken down, or to be at the bottom, to be burned through the Most High God's wrath? And these heathens. You understand? When what is upside down is placed right side up, no longer will we be burned through the fire of the Most High God. You understand? And obviously, that this is speaking metaphorically, because we just read in Ecclesiastes 3:16 that the place of judgment is here on earth. You understand? That judgment, that fire is here on earth. Because you know what? Just think about how it feels when you got to face the music when something terrible happens. You get caught for doing something you knew you weren't supposed to be doing. Right? Say you get caught in a murder, caught stealing, you get caught selling drugs, you get caught being a homosexual, you get caught being an adulterer. You understand? You get caught sleeping with the other nations. I know some of y'all, oh, that ain't so bad. You know what? Know who you are first. Understand that you ain't supposed to be with the other nations first. Then we'll revisit, you understand, that thought process of, well, that's not so bad if I go sleep with a white bitch. Okay, you know what? I'll be real. There was a time that, you know what, I was on there. I can admit that. But now you would never see me with a goddamn white bitch. Hell to the no. Because now I know better. You understand what I'm saying? Now I know better. Hell, my father, whom of which is still in the world, he knows better. He learned his lesson. And like the father before me, I learned my lesson about dealing with these goddamn devil women. You want to go through some goddamn hell? You want to really know what hell looks like? And mind you, it don't matter how much freaking money that you got. Look at all these celebrities and these athletes, these actors, entertainers. Look at all these people who got money, who say, you know what? I'm gonna go deal with a white bitch. I'm gonna go deal with a white woman. Yeah. Ask Kanye West how dealing with that white girl was during and after. I believe Kim Kardashian make more money than he do, right? And guess who's on child support? You talk about goddamn billionaires. Both of them is billionaires, right? And yet, how much child support does Kanye West has to pay to? I never knew that it took $250,000 a month to take care of a baby, to take care of a child. $250,000, mind you as well. This woman has her money. She has the money. Billions. She's got $1 billion with a B. Right? I believe the Kardashians are billionaires. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So like you. Point it, they got buku money. Money the amount I could only write down on a piece of paper, I would never see it. I would never even think to try to see it my doggone self because I know the condition that I'm in. And mind you, money like that really ain't the objective for me. So lucky, my objective is to get y'all goofy asses out of the world and into this truth. You understand? So lucky, I'm just keeping it real. But you understand? Man, you want to know real hell? That's it right there. King Solomon put his nation through hell because he wanted to be with white bitches, with Asian bitches, with African bitches, with East Indian bitches. You understand that? His desire, his lust for the beauty of the other nations, of those specific, the women he took, man, he put us through punishment for that. Of course, he got punished himself, but you understand? It's like it. You understand? We are going through hell because of that. You deal with these other nations, you go through hell. Have a strong black man, a strong leader of a black man, a good leader. Why you put a goddamn white bitch under his arm, you put a goddamn Asian bitch, African bitch, wouldn't be the same man. Wouldn't be the same man. And you want to know how I know that? Because you know what Commander General Hanna did for me in this ISUPK? What the Most High God saw fit for me to happen was to remove a white bitch from under my arm and put a beautiful Iscarite princess or so-called Mexican princess under my arm. Complete 180 of a person. If y'all would have, I'll tell y'all now, the person that y'all will meet, Iraq, is a totally different person. Complete 180 of a person from who was killed in the world. That dead man that I left behind in the world, who I was before I became Iraq, totally different person. Completely. I did a complete 180. It wasn't even just with the women, the drugs. You got, some of y'all, y'all hip, I was in East South military. You understand? Complete 180. But mind you, I made that 180 because I was tired of being in the condition that I'm in today. I was tired of being in the condition that, quite frankly, I am still in today. But you know what? I'm putting in the work so that me and my people can come out of this condition, so that we can come out of this hell. You understand that? That's the difference between the ISUPK, the priests and prophets in the ISUPK, in comparison to these fake Israelite camps, goddamn Christianity. You understand? All these other, blackity black ass niggas. Man, what is y'all really doing though? At the end of the day, what is y'all really doing? In some of our schools in the ISUPK, we have events where not only are they doing food and clothing drive, but while you go get you a hot plate, or we'll say just a plate, you go get yourself a meal, you go get yourself some clothes, you can also go get, I'm going to try to remember all the services that school provides. Be it's some sort of respiratory test, high blood pressure, and I think there was 2 other ones. You understand? Mind you, free of charge. These brothers are certified to do these things. This is the nation that we are building. This is what we are creating within the ISUPK. And again, I know we're not there yet. We got a couple more verses, and we'll get into it. But we are building heaven. This is how you build heaven, even in the midst of hell. In the midst of hell, we are in the middle of hell and spreading heaven out from the epicenter like wildfire. The only thing that you got to do, Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man and woman, is get the hell, decide, make that same decision that we made, that you don't want to be in hell no more. That you don't want to serve them no more. You don't want to be a part of their society no more, their world no more. Man, come be a part of your world, the world that was created for you to thrive, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man, and woman, of course. I pray that y'all understand this. I pray that y'all do. I pray that you do. I really do, because you know what? Y'all doggone hard-headed ass. I'm going to go to the full extent of what I want to say, but if it was in person, it'd be different. Not just playing, but you little hard-headed, stiff-neck ass kids, man. That's what y'all is, man. If y'all would just understand that, we would be in heaven. And how Yahweh Mashiach will return. And we ain't got to worry about this stupid, man. Could you imagine a world where you don't have to worry about disease? Because mind you, since pretty much all interactions with, and I believe it's between the so-called white man and the so-called Asians, are basically the 2 primary nations that brought disease when they would spread, around, the landmass and whatnot. Could you imagine a world where you don't have to worry about disease like that? Where you don't have to worry about disease and sickness, period? Because mind you, it is a part of our law to, when you sick, I'm not even allowed to teach class if I'm sick. So in other words, if you're sick, you better not come to class. Stay your ass at home. I know that slavery makes you go, if you just got a cough, slavery, bring your ass. That's because them devils want to spread their disease and ailments. Yeah, listen, if you got something breaking out, stay your ass at home. Not only is it the law, but nobody wants to get it. Why spread it? That's a little bit too complex thinking for the goddamn white man and these heathen nations. Mind you, these are people who, do what they want. We'll say that. They eat what they want. They sleep with what they want. You understand? I pray that y'all understand what I'm saying. They do what they want. Right? Man, could you imagine a world where people did the right thing? Where not only just doing the right thing, but they're doing the right thing because they're educated to do the right thing. That's how you know you in hell. And there is a heaven here on earth that is better, that is meant for you, Black, Hispanic, and First Nation men and women. All right, let's drop that. We're going to go to the book of Jonah, the book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Right? Chapter 2 and verse 1. What is that for? That's okay. All right. This is the book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly. This man is inside of a fish belly. Is that something to be desired? Is that something, you understand? And that's a place of hell. You think that there's light in there? Maybe there's some things to eat. Maybe that fish might eat some more fish. But ain't nothing, that belly fill up with some water. All that water be around you. Can't even, not a single drop you can drink. Could you imagine that? Starting to get thirsty. You got cotton mouth. Just dehydrated. Lips getting all chapped. You know what I'm saying? Just dying of thirst. And there's water all around you. But not a single drop you can drink. I want to talk about some temptation. I want to talk about hell. Salakia. Reading on. Verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I. Read that one more time, right? Out of the belly of hell I cried. Damn. Out of the belly of hell? I mean, so hold on, wait, time out. Actually, we'll finish the verse and then I got a question for y'all, right? And thou heardest my voice, and most I got heard Jonah's voice, right? Out of the belly of hell. So let me ask y'all this real quick, right? We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Universal Practical Knowledge. Let's be practical about some knowledge that we just obtained, right? We just obtained the knowledge that Jonah was in the belly of a fish. And how did he just say it was? He heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I. So let's be practical about what we just read, right? So is hell under earth according to the Bible? Or is it in fish? The belly of a fish. Now, see, that's the thing. This is the crazy part. Right? If Christianity said that when you die, you go to the belly of a fish, I can see why they say that. I can see that. But to say that, you go way into the earth's, under the earth's crust, the earth's mantle, through the outer core into the inner core. Maybe you go further than that into the nucleus core. I don't know. When you finally get to a certain point where now you're being ruled and governed by Satan, some red man Satan with a pitchfork and, you know, this fruity tooty goatee and mustache and a tail with a spade at the end of his tail, right? Where he is going to punish you for the rest of eternity because you followed what he did with the disobedience of the Most High God. So he's going to be tasked with punishing you, and he's just going to rule hell. Tell me when to stop sounding ridiculous, and then, you know what I'm saying? Salakia. Yeah, y'all see how stupid Christianity sounds? So we're already crossing out this whole notion that when you die, that's where you go. You're silly. You believe in the Cinderella story. You believe that all dreams come true. You know what one of Cinderella's dreams was? Is as a white woman, blonde hair, blue eye, that she just deserves to become a princess. She just deserves it. And ultimately, that is just the sense of her entitlement because she's a white woman. And now it's led you to believe that you deserve to be a princess, a king, a prince, etc. because of your hard work. I'm going to tell you this right now, right? You deserve to be a princess because the Most High God says so. Black man, Hispanic man, and First Nation man, you deserve to be a prince because the Most High God said you are the prince of the power. You understand? You deserve this because the Most High God says so. Okay? Let's get back to who we was just talking about. Out of the belly of hell cried I. So is Jonah 1 and 2? Or just like it. Is Jonah 2 verses 1 through 2? Is this saying that hell is in the belly of a fish? But mind you, don't think it can't happen. There are videos. It's called a what is it called? It's a lag here. You know, I be having my speech issues, let alone my pronunciation issues, right? Gigantium. I believe it's called. I believe how you say it is gigantium. I think it's how you say it. Groper fish. It's called a groper fish. All right, but there's a specific one that gets buku big. You know how big they get? They're big enough. This fish is big enough that it will swallow. It's a fish, and you can fish for this fish. All right. I believe they're actually lawful to eat, but I know they got fins. I'm not sure if they got scales as well, but these fish, their mouths and their body get so doggone big, they are known to swallow divers whole. You know that little shark fish game that you play on your phone? You start off with like a little minnow. You start off just eating the little, basically fish doo-doo and, the bugs and crabs and stuff like that. And after you eat enough, you level up to a bigger fish, a bigger fish, a bigger fish, a bigger fish. But I think like one of the end, like eventually can be like a whale or something like that. But one of them really big fish is a groper fish. It's like the guy, I can't, like I said, I can't say the word. A big ass fish called the groper fish. So it's not far-fetched for a man to be swallowed. Whales can swallow people, right? And it's known, even though that they eat, their primary food source is krill, shrimp and krill. Man, they've come up before and swallowed up people on kayaks. Never to be seen again. And these things are on YouTube. You understand? Like, it's not far-fetched. Now, the only thing is, them people that end up on YouTube, you know, that's not Jonah. They're not about to get swallowed up and spat out somewhere so that they can go and, you know, spread the Lord's word, to go and prophesy unto his city so that it won't be destroyed. In fact, I believe the ones that I saw, they was all devils. So, you know, goddamn well, they wasn't going to go prophesy nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord, them angels had that goddamn well swallow up them devils because the devil goddamn deserved it. He swallowed whole to sit there for X amount of time in a fish's belly to die. And that's it. They just gonna become whale doo-doo and get eaten by crabs to become crab doo-doo and recycled. You understand? I pray that you do. Point is, hell is not in the belly of the fish. It is hell to be inside the belly of the fish. And comfortable that would be thirsty as hell. Can't drink the water because what that fish drinking? Salt water. You might get lucky and, you know, be able to find some fish. And, you know, I mean, sushi is lawful because fish don't bleed. You understand? The law is not to consume blood. I mean, maybe you can get a bite or two of some fish, but I wouldn't even risk that just off the fact that, you know, fish is gonna be covered in salt, and I don't want to fuck around and it's like I don't want to mess around and take a bite of the fish in the dark. Don't know that the fish about to open his mouth to take in some more water or whatever, and then when I go take a bite, a rush of water just come in, you know, just hit me in the mouth. Damn, salt water. You get what I'm saying? Man, that's hell. Boy, your ass gonna be laying there in the dark, fasting like a mug. But Lord, so like I'll do. What do I need to do? And hey, that's what ended up happening with Jonah. Jonah got spat out to finally go do what the Lord told him to go do. And quite frankly, part of what the Most High God wants you to do, Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man and woman, is to go through hell and then bring your brothers and sisters out of it. You understand? We in the belly of the fish right now, here in America. We are in the belly of the fish right now. This is hell right now. We are in a place of hell right now. And our job in the midst of this hell is to go and prophesy to our brothers and sisters, right? Let's go ahead and get another one. The book of Psalms, chapter 116 and chapter 3. The book of Psalms, chapter 116 and chapter 3. If there's anybody that has any questions online, man, feel free to post it in the chat. I'll answer your question to the best of my ability scripturally. You know, whether it's on topic or off topic. You understand? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. It's good to see you in the class, sir. All right, so the book of Psalms, chapter 116 and verse 3, right? The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. You understand? Now, mind you, who wrote Psalms? Who wrote the book of Psalms? Anybody online tell me who wrote Psalms? The book of Psalms? Let me see it. Take a few moments, because this is the last scripture on hell that we're going to go over tonight. Well, actually, no, period. So next class, we'll go over heaven. And it's like we'll pick up at heaven. But in the meantime, who can tell me? So yes, like we'll wrap it up after this one, after this verse. But who can tell me who wrote the book of Psalms? Who can tell me who wrote the book of Psalms? All right, just for time's sake, I'll go ahead and let y'all know. David, King David did. Right? These are the Psalms of David. You know what I'm saying? The sorrows of death compass me. Y'all know what compass means? In case that you don't, guess what? This is what we do in the ISUPK. We look things up. I've already got it pulled up for y'all, right? Compass, verb, go around something in a circular course. You understand? So let's apply that definition to this new word that we just learned. The sorrows of death compass me, or the sorrows of death go around in a circular course around me. So death is all around him. It's all around King David, right? And the pains of hell got hold upon me. And the pains of hell. How is it that King David has the pains of hell on earth? I mean, he's in the flesh. Again, Christianity is trying to, make everybody believe that when you die, you could go to hell. But according to them, everybody go to heaven. How does King David know about hell in the slightest? What the pain of hell is even like? I mean, as a Black, Hispanic, and First Nation man or woman, we know. We are the first ones to know what it's like to live through hell, to go through hell. You understand? And it doesn't even matter what our condition as a nation is. In other words, because King David was in a seat of rulership, right? He knows what hell feels like off of the fact that because of the battle that he had to do to try to to unite the king, to unite the kingdom, battling his own people, having to slay his own people, right? But also everybody deals with death. King David lost his son. I can't think of his name right now. It's Salakia. But you understand? He lost his son was killed. I believe he had his head chopped off. So it don't matter what position you are necessarily in, man. You're going to feel the pains of hell. And part of hell is having death all around you. Man, you know how painful that is? It doesn't matter. Listen, dealing with death, the only thing that really, I want to put this. The only thing that really helps alleviate the pain is becoming numb to it. And that's not a choice. And in fact, when you get to the point of being numb, it's not a good thing. And I pray that y'all understand that. All right? I pray that y'all understand that.
death is always going to be a terrible, a terrible thing. It's gonna be hell, especially if when you love your people. King David loved his people. King David loved his people that he was willing to go to war with his own to unify it. His whole objective was the will of the Lord, to unify Israel. You understand? But even though that he had to kill his own brothers, it still pained him to do so. That was still hell for him. You understand that? And I pray you do. All right. I found trouble and sorrow. Man, in the midst of all that, that's what you're gonna find is trouble and sorrow. With death with death compassing around you, man, that's all you're just gonna find trouble and sorrow. It's a painful thing that in reality, you never get used to it. You just get numb to it. And when you become numb in reality to anything, you become numb to anything. That's a very dangerous thing right there. That's an extremely, extremely dangerous thing. And it's sad. It's sad that you just get used. You get so used to death, destruction, being in a place of torment and hell that it don't even bother you no more. That's hell. That's hell, Aqua. There's nothing worse than getting used to watching your children die. There's nothing worse than getting used to just not feeling anything when your children die, not feeling anything when you murder somebody, when you poison somebody, when you hate, you might feel hatred for your own, but the fact that you feel hatred for your own means that you don't feel anything towards your own, and that's sad. That is extremely sad. And that lets you know that you are in the place and condition of hell. You understand? And so with that, we're gonna wrap the class off of that. Wrap up the class off of that. Next class that we come together with, we're gonna go into what heaven is. What is heaven according to the Bible? You understand? So with that, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatah Shem Yahushai to the sisters. Class dismissed.